Welcome back to the shop. Just a brief update today on the Bonanza. Happy to have the Bonanza on the bench in the shop, and I've got some really fun details to share with you. Let's flip you around and get you a glimpse of the good stuff. All right, so you're looking at the fuselage here on the bench, and if you'll notice, there's some goodies on top here, and that's really what I'm here to talk about today. Work with my good friend Dan Sponholz. Love you to death, Dan. Thank you so much for doing modeling for these 3D prints. And the Flying V is really nice because it prints in two different parts. You do need to print the V part itself on a raft. But this one just prints as it is, just base up to tip. And then over here, this whip is actually just the printed base. This is a piece of 1/16 inch music wire, and then I've got a glob of epoxy on the tip of it. So all of that is just sanded, or well, technically I didn't just sand. I did do an acetone wash. I like to use acetone on ABS because ABS does not warp or melt in the sun. I've got multiple years of good experience with that. So these will behave quite nicely, but do an acetone bath or just paint acetone directly onto the part to help smooth it out, and then do a layer of high build primer, sand it all back again, another layer of primer, and then a finish sanding of like 400 grit paper, and then a final epoxy, enamel paint, white enamel paint, and then a coat of clear. Since it's going to see glow fuel, I wanted to make sure that I got a nice clear coat on there and let it cure out. And I did a gloss 1K clear to make sure that it matches the gloss of the airplane. Like I said in the past, I'm preferring some matte finishes lately, but given that this airplane is in gloss, it makes sense. And I think it looks really good. Now these are just held on with some really strong double-sided tape that I have, and it's kind of like a gel. Or you could probably use foam as well, but it's to help take out some of the vibrations so that these plastic parts don't vibrate to pieces. I think it's going to work well. Now I got permission from Dan to post his files on Thingiverse, which I have done. You'll find a link in the description or a comment or something below, but it's all on my Thingiverse site. It's not anything fancy, but there it is. It's for you to download, and you can print these parts. As printed is specifically for the Top Flight Bonanza. You can scale it up or down if you have a different application for a Bonanza. Up to you, but these are modeled per the views on the Top Flight Plans. So they're accurate for that, not necessarily accurate for real life, but it's pretty close. I like the detail. I think that it's great that it's true to the Top Flight branding. And if you want to head over to my Thingiverse site, feel free to use them. Yeah, that's it for today, guys. Head on over to Dubro, get yourself some additional hardware that you might need. Josh 10 at checkout gets you 10% savings. And until next time, keep working on your flying works of art.